Welcome back to our detailed exploration of Star Wars Episode III, Revenge of the Sith, a crucial and dark chapter in the Star Wars saga that shows the final transformation of Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader and depicts the fall of the Galactic Republic as well as the rise of the Galactic Empire. This film, released in 2005, concludes the prequel trilogy and links the events directly with the original trilogy. However, we begin with a little backstory: the power behind the throne. In the deep shadows of the Galactic Senate hid a man whose ambitions would change the fate of the entire galaxy. His name was Sheev Palpatine, a seemingly unremarkable senator from the small planet of Naboo. Yet, beneath this facade lay Darth Sidious, a Dark Lord of the Sith, whose pursuit of power knew no bounds. From a young age, Palpatine showed an insatiable thirst for knowledge and influence. He realized early on that true power did not lie in brute force, but in manipulation and deceit. Under the guidance of his master, Darth Plagueis, he learned the dark arts of the Sith and studied the secrets of the Force. Palpatine's rise began modestly as he presented himself as a loyal and tireless servant of the people of Naboo. With charm and intelligence, he gained the trust of his fellow citizens and was eventually elected as a senator. However, behind this mask, he worked tirelessly to achieve his true goals. He orchestrated political crises and fomented conflicts to gain control over the Senate. His greatest achievement was the creation of the Clone Wars, a galaxy-wide conflict that brought the Republic to the brink of collapse. Under the guise of Supreme Chancellor, Palpatine seized more and more powers until he eventually became the unchallenged ruler. But his plans extended far beyond political power. Palpatine was obsessed with the idea of unraveling the secret of eternal life. He studied ancient Sith texts and performed dark rituals to gain ultimate control over life and death. He used his knowledge of the dark side to prolong his own life and destroy his enemies. The story begins in the third year of the Clone Wars, a galaxy-wide conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Separatists. The Separatists, led by Count Dooku and General Grievous, have kidnapped Supreme Chancellor Palpatine from Coruscant and hold him captive on their flagship, the Invisible Hand. Jedi Knights, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker are sent to rescue him. In a dramatic rescue mission, Obi-Wan and Anakin infiltrate the ship, fight their way through droid armies, and eventually confront Count Dooku. In a fierce lightsaber duel, Anakin manages to overpower Dooku and kill him on Palpatine's order. This marks another step in Anakin's gradual turn to the dark side of the Force. After their return to Coruscant, Anakin learns that Padme Amidala is pregnant. Though he is happy about the news, he is plagued by visions of Padme dying in childbirth. These visions remind him of the loss of his mother and his inability to save her. In his desperation, he seeks ways to save Padme. Meanwhile, General Grievous continues to lead the Separatists in the war and escapes Obi-Wan Kenobi on the planet Utapau. Obi-Wan is sent by the Jedi Council to track down and eliminate Grievous once and for all. Palpatine, secretly the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, begins to manipulate Anakin by telling him about the power of the dark side to prevent death. He appoints Anakin as his personal representative on the Jedi Council. Despite this appointment, the Council denies Anakin the rank of Master, further intensifying his inner conflict and frustration. Obi-Wan tracks General Grievous to Utapau, where an epic battle ensues. After an intense duel, Obi-Wan manages to kill Grievous, weakening the Separatist army. At the same time, Palpatine reveals his true identity as Darth Sidious to Anakin and offers to teach him the ways of the dark side to save Padme. Torn between his loyalty to the Jedi and his desire to protect Padme, Anakin informs Jedi Master Mace Windu of Palpatine's true identity. Mace Windu confronts Palpatine, and a fierce fight ensues. Anakin, initially supporting Windu, decides at the last moment to save Palpatine and attacks Windu. Palpatine uses the opportunity to kill Windu and finally turns Anakin to the dark side, naming him Darth Vader. Palpatine then activates Order 66, a secret command instructing all clone troops to kill the Jedi. This leads to a devastating attack on the Jedi across the galaxy, including the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, which Anakin himself attacks, killing numerous Jedi, including young Padawans. Obi-Wan and Yoda, who survived the attack, return to Coruscant and realize the extent of the betrayal. Yoda decides to confront Palpatine, while Obi-Wan sets out to find Anakin. Yoda and Palpatine engage in a fierce battle in the Senate building, which ends in a stalemate as Yoda goes into exile. Obi-Wan tracks Anakin to Mustafar, where the Separatist leaders have taken refuge. In an emotional and intense duel, Obi-Wan and Anakin fight each other. Obi-Wan ultimately defeats Anakin, who is left severely injured and burned by lava. Padme, who followed Anakin to Mustafar, is rescued by Obi-Wan and brought to Polis Massa, where she goes into labor. Despite all efforts by the medical droids, Padme dies after giving birth to twins, Luke and Leia, but not before telling Obi-Wan of Anakin's fall to the dark side. Anakin, now severely disfigured, is saved by Palpatine and placed in a black suit to survive as Darth Vader. Palpatine declares the Republic to be the Galactic Empire, with himself as Emperor and Vader as his right hand. Obi-Wan and Yoda decide to separate and hide the twins to protect them from the Empire. Luke is taken to Anakin's stepbrother Owen Lars on Tatooine, while Leia is adopted by Senator Bail Organa and his wife on Alderaan. The film ends with a grim outlook for the future, as the galaxy is under the tyrannical rule of the Empire. Yet there is a glimmer of hope in the form of the twins, who one day might restore balance to the Force. Star Wars Episode III, Revenge of the Sith, is a dark and emotional chapter that depicts the rise of the Empire and the fall of the Jedi. It highlights the deep inner conflicts of the characters and the devastating effects of betrayal and the lust for power. The film paves the way for the events of the original trilogy and shows how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, one of the most iconic villains in film history. We hope you enjoyed this detailed exploration. If you want to see more Star Wars content, let us know in the comments, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until then, see you in the next episode.